Hello everybody and welcome to our spooky Halloween edition of a stealth camping adventure. I thought it was completely different. Online, it must have shown a different location or where it was somewhere else because it was in a very different building and there was all these like cool things around, there's one blow up thing here, but there was like a bunch of them and there was just a lot more going on. I'm wondering if it was even a different Halloween store that I was looking at. But anyways, I would go investigate more, but it will get dark by the time I find the cool ones. So we're gonna stay here and I have no idea where we're gonna set up camp. No clue. So we're gonna be figuring all that out. And yes, happy Halloween. Today is Halloween. It's not my Halloween, but I'm posting it. If you're seeing it in real time, you are seeing it on Halloween. Anyways, so besides us being in a spooky place for spooky Halloween, I have another spooky, exciting thing later, which will be a spooky dinner. That's right, our food is gonna be spooky. All right, so I found a spot to park my car and I'm currently walking back. As you can see, costumes, spooky Halloween. What I'm trying to do now is get behind the building and look for a spot. But unfortunately, right around here where I was gonna go, there's like two people standing there and I don't really want to walk past them. And then when I was coming in on that side, I saw other people that looked like potentially homeless people, or I don't know, on that side. And somehow I want to get around without anyone seeing me. I want to stay right behind it, I think, because there's really nowhere to stay in front of it. Unfortunately, I'm looking around. Potentially, is there a good bush? Let's go look at these bushes over here. Maybe I don't even need to go to the back. Maybe that was premature. Ooh, look at the moon. Oh my gosh. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Visibility will be higher tonight, so easier for people to see me. These bushes do not look very promising. I don't think I can stay there. Wow, this is a cool spot. I don't know about to like stay, but I could almost come back here and make food here. This is kind of cool. This is a little bit interesting. I wonder if those lights go on at night. It's likely that they do. And with the full moon, I don't know, but I feel like I could stay in there. Well, I think as a last resort, if those lights don't go on, that's a potential. All right, I'm gonna try to go around this way and peek around and see if those people are still there. I could go around the other way, but I definitely saw people sitting there, so let's see what's going on over here. Okay, I'm about to peek around. Yeah, those people are still there and they definitely look suspicious. All right, I'm gonna go around to the other side and down that way. Maybe those are the same people that were over there and they just moved spots. I don't know, we'll see. But here's the cool spooky. I don't know, is he spooky? Is he supposed to be spooky? Is this a microphone? Is he playing karaoke? He might be playing karaoke, so I don't know. Well, if I forgot anything, for our spooky dinner, we are right by a grocery store. Pretty sure I have it covered though. It's quite unfortunate again, so I peeked around the side over there. There was a car blasting loud music, so I'm not gonna put that in the video, but those people are still there. So I have a new game plan, and I'll let you know what it is in a minute. I don't want to keep walking around this complex with my backpack and stuff, just because I don't want to look suspicious. Like I'm one of these vagabonds. Yeah, so hence the new game plan. So there's actually this giant dirt lot, as you can see. I'm walking across it right now. Right over there, you see those dudes? Those are the dudes that I don't want to see me going around. I don't want no one to see me when I go there because I don't want no one to think I'm there. So, what's pretty cool is there's this big ass lot, and it goes over to this covered carport that you can see, and I can just chill, look at what these dudes are doing, and eventually make my way back so we can have our spooky adventure. But for now, this is what's going on. What's this stuff? What is that? Stumps? Let's go investigate. Yeah, stumps. Looks like a potty and some cardboard. How interesting. Desperate times could call for desperate measures. Just kidding, I'm not gonna use that. All right. Oh, what the hell? I don't see them anymore. That's so weird. That's so weird. I like turned my head for a second to look at those stumps, and they like are gone. I'm gonna wait a little bit to go back there though, because I don't know where the heck they went. Anyways, it's gorgeous. Look at this. Wow, what a spectacular sight. Where the heck did those dudes go? They were there forever. I turned my head and looked at the stumps and they disappeared. It's so weird. What is this? Someone camping here? This could be a tent with a tarp over it, or just something covering a bunch of stuff. I'm currently perched behind this bush, like towards the back of the lot, just trying to see if I see where those guys went, and I really have no idea. But then this like white car pulled up, and there's just someone sitting in there, not getting out, so I may have to wait for that white car to leave before I head over there. It's a little bit suspicious because I'm just sitting here. It's not totally dark yet. People could see me. So I'm gonna stick to my original thing, go back over there where under the carport area, and wait it out a little bit. I'm currently on the other side of that dirt lot that we walked across. So right across the dirt lot is the whole shopping center, and then over here is this building where the covered carports are, and then right here there's just like some stacked up metal. It almost reminds me of bleachers, like stacked bleachers, but I don't really know what it is. Anyways, I might have a little bit of a different game plan because I kind of like it over here. It's super peaceful, and the moon is shining up there, and it's just really cool. And I feel like over here I won't have to worry about, like, I saw 4 different guys that were just hanging out over there that reminded me like they might be homeless, and I won't have to worry about any of that over here. It's a totally different vibe. By the way, this is spooky tea. Can you tell? It's red, like blood. Blood red spooky tea. What made it red is hibiscus flowers. So in here is ginger, hibiscus flowers, and red raspberry leaf, but it's the hibiscus that makes it red. And I sweetened it. It's so nice. Oh, it's wonderful. So, and also right over there are picnic tables, and I'm like, I can set up there and cook my dinner, my spooky dinner. So yeah, I think I might stay just a little bit further away than planned. Is that okay with you guys? It would be really cool to stay on the roof. I didn't see a ladder to get up there anywhere, or else I'd have done that. But for now, I'm just gonna drink this, enjoy the peaceful quietude of this particular area. It feels like there's this giant building here and there's lights on inside and stuff, but there's nothing going on. Like, I feel like it's empty. I wonder what it is. Yeah, but in a little bit, I'll scope out camp and we'll set up for the night. I'm gonna set up camp, and I'm doing it in slightly a more safe spot, and then I'm gonna move to where I actually want to sleep for the evening. And I'll show you where that is, but with this light on, I think where we're at is a better spot to get it all set up. It's a pretty simple setup. We're gonna be cowboy camping. I love cowboy camping. It's probably my favorite because you get to look at the stars. It just depends, obviously, on the weather. You don't want to do it if it's super windy or rainy. So this is just my ground sheet that'll go on the bottom. And then we got my little foam pad. Which will go right on top. And my quilt, and I actually put it in a sack. I've been just stuffing it around everything in my bag, but I thought today I'll put it in a sack. And it's so awesome because it's all dark color and black, so it all blends in. Yes, there it is. All right, I'm gonna turn this light off, move this setup to where I'm gonna be, and I'll show you where that is. There it is. Can you see the shopping center? Now, can you guess where I'm about to sleep? I'll walk to my spot and you tell me if you see it. It's super incognito when you get a little further out because it's basically black. All right, it's too dark for my camera to see it, but now I'm at it. And looks like nothing's here. This is what I'm looking at from the other direction. There's the carport, these steel beams, and some other stuff over there. And then if you follow my finger, that is where my sleep setup is. I was waiting for a good moment to show you with the light, but then this truck pulled up and then I saw a car flash its lights, like a security car maybe, and I was like, oh, now is not the time. So I'll show you guys a little bit later. I found this cool spot in front of the door where there's a lot of light, and I don't even have to use my headlamp or my light or this light. No light. I can just use the light of the area, which is pretty cool. But it's going on 8:30 and I'm feeling pretty hungry, so I figure why not make our spooky dinner? It's spooky. Hopefully everything in here is okay. It may have rolled around a little bit, but part one of our spookiness is happening now, And then the other part will happen after we cook these up, which I prepared these at home. It's just basically the last step that we have to cook up right now. But what I did, they smell really good. Oh my goodness. I made spooky meatballs, and I'll show you why they're spooky. They have eyes made out of green peas, but these are our spooky meatball, cool little dudes. This is our Halloween spooky dinner. I know I'm saying spooky a lot, but I just think they're super cute. You're not that scary, you're really cute. Maybe the next part, after we fry them up, will be a little bit scary. And then it'll really, you get the real Halloween effect. But they're actually not made out of meat. They're basically TVP balls. But meatballs sounds much more interesting. And TVP is just like a textured vegetable protein. I really like it. It's super tasty. And it's like very meaty. I hear a noise. I hope it's a helicopter or something and not a car. Oh my goodness. So right now I'm just adding butter to the pan, and we are going to fry these up, hopefully crisp them up and make them super tasty in the butter. And then something else that I did differently with these meatballs is, instead of using breadcrumbs, I used potato flakes. And the potato flakes were seasoned with like all the seasoning that I would have put in these, pretty much. I added a couple other things, but I was like, wow, that's kind of convenient. So we'll see how they turn out. I have two of these little handles, so they double as a handle for a pan that doesn't have a handle, as well as tongs. So one of them is my handle, and then the other one can move them around or pick them up. But they look like little creatures looking back at me. And they smell really good. It is such a nice night, by the way. It is like perfect temperature right now. It just feels amazing. I removed them from the heat and just put them on this other little plate. I'm gonna let them cool down for a little bit, but honestly, I wanted to cook them longer and like crisp them up more, but the pan just was not having it. It's just like stuff was starting to stick on the bottom and like burn. So it felt like, okay, it's time. Plus all the butter basically cooked up, but let's try this crispy thing. I love burnt crispy stuff. That one was a little too burnt, but that was char. I like burnt crispy, but not straight up char. But let's do the finishing touch and hopefully make it super spooky. So I have to admit, the eyes kind of disappeared. Let's move some of the stuff out of the way so you can still see it's a cute little scary little guy. And then the finishing touch is blood. Look, blood on his head. Oh my gosh, this scary little dude is even scarier now. It's just ketchup. All right, let's try it. There he is, spooky, scary, bloody guy. And well, it's completely mushy. So there's that. I think probably way too mushy to be really considered a meatball. Like if you use this on spaghetti or something, it's just super mush. I don't know, they're pretty tasty though. This one's really cute though. He retained his eye cuteness. Oh my goodness. This is the model one. If we were trying to sell these, I'd use this little guy. Oh my goodness, spooky. He's so spooky. You're so spooky. He's so cute. It's hard to eat you. You're adorable, but it's just gotta happen. This property is actually a medical center, and it's super interesting that it's just totally dead. I can like see a cafeteria in there and a scanner that says welcome to let people in and a desk. Look at that in there. Oh my goodness. Let's just check this place out a little bit before we leave. What's over here? What's going on? There's a hallway going back that way. There's something making a lot of noise. Wow. Looks like some sort of cleaning process is happening. I don't know if it's washer machines. Oh my goodness. There's a car. Let's go back the way we came. Maybe someone's actually in there cleaning. All right, let's go. But in front of me, I see a cool sight. There's the ambulance. Let's get out of here though, just in case there is someone there cleaning. I mean, there is a car. If so, we got super fortunate that nobody came around our direction, because I was sitting right in front of a glass door where obviously you could see me. It's glass, like a window. All right, let's go check up on my sleep stuff, and then it might be kind of fun to do a little late night roam around the complex with all the stores. I can stash my backpack so it won't look suspicious. Like my backpack doesn't look that suspicious now that all this stuff's out of there. Like all my bedding that made it real big kind of just looks like a regular backpack, not something super huge. But first, before we go over there, let's transform. The temperature is cooling down a little bit, so I think it is time to become Bigfoot. This really isn't the most stealthy jacket. It's the kind of jacket where everyone looks at you and is like, what the heck is she wearing? Stealthy stuff is dark color, but it's Halloween. This is our Halloween special. We gotta be the Yeti. All right, let's go. All right, I think now's as good a time as any. So there it is. You see that black thing? Here's my sleep situation. There's the main road over there. There is the center right there. And there behind us is where I just came from. So what I'm gonna do here is just stash my bag underneath my quilt and we'll go have a little adventure. This is my food bag. I'm stashing it, or like the remnants, what I cooked on and what I brought the stuff in. I'm just stashing it over here just in case there's bugs or something. They won't go under my covers. They'll not smell the stuff because it'll be stashed on the metal crates instead of inside my sleeping area or my bag. I'm entering the complex and I'm in the back. So let's just scope this out and see if I was back here, where would I have slept? This is kind of interesting. I definitely would have come checked this out. This could have been a potential spot. Kind of trash around. Wow, is that barbed wire? Oh my goodness. This is a death trap. What? They must have had a big problem of people climbing over and they just like put this whole weird. Oh my goodness, that is crazy. They must have had a real issue because this is like purposefully there. Wow, that is fascinating. So, I don't know. That's pretty crazy. But behind here could have been a potential. There's really not like a whole lot. That thing over there is looking really interesting. That may have been where I would have gone at night. I'm looking for the shadows. Where am I gonna be in the shadows? Where even if people are around and I'm not super protected by something, if I'm in the shadows, people aren't really gonna see me. So if I put that away, this is in the shadows. I mean, if someone's really coming back here, they would see me in this area, but if not, it's in the shadows enough. Wow, there's a little home community back there. How interesting. And then that's pretty much it. There's really not. I could, honestly, you see how dark it is over here? I could have just set up right here in the shadow, in the most shadowiest spot, and just hope for the best. Like, if I'm shining a light there, you can see. But when I put my light away, it's super dark, and no one, unless they're really looking, would see me there. But I don't have my cot, so, you know, I could just sleep on the floor. I wouldn't put it past me to do something like that, but a cot would be nice. And then what's over here? Oh, maybe there's some treasures. Treasures? Treasures. Mostly looks like just cardboard. How about this one? That all looks like trash. And you know what they say about trash. One person's trash is another man's treasure. But I'm not seeing any treasures in here. Potentially there could be some cigarette packs, but I don't want to smoke any cigarettes, so I'm not going to rummage through there. And then all this is super lit up. I would not want to sleep. Wow, look at these chairs. What are these doing here? That's so interesting. Take a load off. It's pretty comfortable, actually. They've seen better days. They have some wear and tear, but that is a comfy chair. And for it to just be back here, we could just hang out here. I could have made dinner here. This would have been a cool spot too. So many cool places to do things. But one thing I'm not seeing is any way to get up on the roof. It'd be really fun to do some stealth camping on roofs. By the way, I like to leave everything as nice or better as before I went. So it's like I was never even there. All right, what's around this corner? Nothing all too interesting. This thing's a little bit interesting. What is this? A garbage chute? It's like connected into the building right there. And it's a big contraption. It reminds me of a garbage truck. So potentially it's a garbage chute? I have no idea. Anyone know what this thing is? Do not climb. Falling hazard. All right. And then back here, just some shopping carts, pallets. No way to get on the roof anywhere that I can tell. Unless wow. If I was like super crazy, I could stack them. I don't think I could stack them high enough without a tool of some sort. And then back here, this is super lit up, but it's interesting little nook. Oh, are you seeing what I'm seeing? That is the way up to the roof. So, in order to get up to a roof like that, I don't know how the heck I would get up to the start I could bring some pallets over. Maybe I could invent a rope ladder, a portable rope ladder that latches on, and then I could climb up. Does anyone have any ideas for this sort of thing? I'm not sure, but I'm sure there's a solution. I'm sure I could get up there somehow. If anyone knows, let me know. I am curious to go see where I was considering, oh, maybe I could camp there for the night. I'm curious if they do turn the lights on. So let's go check that out and find out. This parking lot's pretty empty because everything on this side is closed. But I think the grocery store is still open for who knows how much longer. And I've come up with a better name for the spooky meatballs. So instead of spooky meatballs, I would call them spooky meaty mashed potato balls, because that's much more fitting with the texture of them. And then you're not disappointed because they're exactly what they're described to be. And they were super tasty, really delicious. I'd make them again. So this is where I was thinking could be a cool little spot, but I was wondering if they had those lights and they turn them on, and as you can see, they do. So yeah, no way to really be incognito there, but these are pretty cool. I could make dinner here and just kind of like scratch down and cook or whatever. All right, everybody, I'm here laying down. I brought a little pillowcase. It's a white pillowcase to have kind of like a pillow if I need it. You'll see in my next video why I brought it. But I'm laying down, looking at the moon, and the moon is looking really nice. As you can see, I'm nice and toasty in my little setup, and the low tonight is 56, so should be really comfortable. I'm pretty sketch shining the light on me here. I really don't want to draw attention, so good night, guys. I'll see you in the morning, unless something happens. Good morning, everybody. I know it still looks super dark, but believe it or not, it is after 6:30 a.m. And given that we are in this super open spot in the middle of the field, it is time to pack up. Now, I have been awake for hours, which is why I might seem very awake, is because I am. But I saw a security guard drive by a few hours ago over there. There was flashing lights on and everything, so hopefully nobody is gonna see me putting my stuff away. But I would say a little bit after 3 a.m., for some reason, it popped into my head that, oh my goodness, I had that one thing and now it's gone. So I had to get up and go on a mission to find this hat. I don't know if you can see it, but I had that hat attached to my GoPro at one point, and I was using it, and then I left it when I took it off, and I didn't realize it until 3 a.m. when I was like, oh, where's that hat? It was behind that bush, if you remember. We were by that bush. By the way, everything is a bit moist. My quilt has moisture on it. Fresh dew. I just stuffed my sleeping bag back into my bag because it's the easiest. This ground sheet really helps keep other stuff clean. But it's too small. I actually discovered it's too small in my next video that you'll see next Friday. All right. Easy peasy. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this Halloween special. And I thought this would be a great spot to have some tea and watch the sky get brighter. This is our spooky destination. And I just want to say that while I do love cowboy camping, it does tend to leave a bunch of moisture. And I don't really know how that's gonna go once we get into like winter and stuff. So, you know, I'll do other stuff like tent camping and all that sort of stuff. But I think eventually I might invest in a bivvy. I've never used one before, but I think it'll be a good thing to have, especially when it starts getting colder, for when I do stuff without shelter or a tarp. I would love a tarp. Do they have freestanding tarps? Like, what if you're staying on cement and you don't have a place to stake it in? I guess trees. I don't know. There's so many different things. But anyways, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit the thumbs up button and be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any videos. I'm going to be posting a new video every Friday. Oh my goodness, you guys. I see what I'm after. It is still here. But does this look familiar? By the way, we slept right over there. So it is much later in the day. Well, it's around 11 a.m. I was unpacking from the camp and I wanted to take out my dishes and put them in the sink. And then I was like, oh my God, where are my dishes? And then I was like, oh my goodness, I put my bag somewhere else so that like bugs or little critters didn't come get me. And I forgot it, but luckily it is still here and no workers or anyone curious about it came and took it.